Coming up on News for Brockport, how a local high school is dealing with the vaping epidemic.
And we'll talk about how Rochester is getting unique recognition for something that may surprise you.
Finally, we'll get into local politics that may affect you. News for Brockport starts right now.
Good evening, it's Thursday, October 24th, 2019, and welcome to News for Brockport. I'm Caleb Snell.
And I'm Alaina Jonathan. Let's get it started. Lake
Ontario water levels have gradually been increasing over the last few years. But what does this mean for homeowners? News for Brockport's Joe Massaro has the story.
According to the National Weather Service, just this past spring, Lake Ontario reached its highest water level at 248.98 feet above sea level, surpassing the record 2 years ago. Right now, the water levels are low due to the change in season, but the problems is the inconsistency of these water levels and the damages they have brought to property owners along the shoreline. And as the levels went up, so did the concern from visitors of Hamlin Beach.
Hurting a lot of businesses, hurting a lot of people. Their basements are getting flooded, their structures are being deteriorated from the water erosion, and it's causing a lot of problems for people, and it's completely unnecessary.
Even the change in water levels are shocking to those who used to live in the area.
I was here all the time, and it never looked like this. These barriers were not here. I hate these barriers. And then if you go up to Devil's Nose, which is what it used to be called, because it was this real sharp sand dune, and you could just see it, and it was clear, and it was a sandy beach, and now you go up there and it's all those boulders, and you can't even see the dune anymore. It's just been destroyed.
With Governor Cuomo's recent lawsuit against the International Joint Commission, workers at the Hamlin Town Hall believe the levels will have less impact next spring.
With the combined efforts of the associations that they have up there, the state and hopefully the federal government will start putting some pressure on that international organization to get the water levels down. I think we'll see less and less of the effects of the high waters in the spring.
But while the state and the IJC are in a dispute, some residents will keep visiting the lake and keep doing what they love best.
So we know the water levels will increase here at Lake Ontario, but the question is, what will be the outcome of this lawsuit and how will Mother Nature be feeling next spring? Reporting from Hamlin Beach, Joe Massaro, News 4 Brockport.
Yeah, Caleb, Joe really pointed out some good points. My aunt lives on Lake Ontario, so I know firsthand that she's experiencing this loss of land, with her own property. I can't imagine, the thousands of people that it is affecting.
And the damage too, it's been increasing over the last few years, really piling up. Hopefully the governments will step up soon and try to deal with it.
Absolutely. Fairport Fire Rescue responded to a barn fire Tuesday night. At around 7 p.m., crews received a 911 call from the owner, Emily Horner of Eterna Salon and Spa, saying she heard popping noises. No one was in the barn at the time, and the house in the front had no damage. The age of the building allowed fire crews to knock the building down. The cause of the fire is still unknown. This story is developing, and we'll bring you more as it develops.
A Monroe County Court jury has made a decision on a homicide that happened on 2nd Street in Rochester last year. 33-year-old Jaquan Moore is behind bars after shooting 41-year-old Amos Haring last October. Prosecutors say Moore and Haring were in an argument prior to the shooting. Later that day, Moore saw Haring on 2nd Street and shot him in the forehead. During the trial, an eyewitness tied Moore to the shooting. Moore is scheduled to be sentenced in December.
A Seneca Falls man was charged with possession of child pornography Tuesday night. Michael Urquhart was sentenced to 3 years and 8 months in federal prison, along with 10 years probation. Urquhart was found trading child porn from his home. Upon the search, it was found that he was in possession of images and videos of child pornography. Some of the videos showed sexual abuse of prepubescent minors.
The Greece Central School District is taking a new method in dealing with teenage vaping. In their efforts to deal with e-cigarettes, the district has been looking into education rather than punishment. Students caught with electronic cigarettes of any kind are to take a 3-step educational assessment to inform the student of the dangers they should be aware of. During this assessment, students complete a self-reflection on their actions, watch educational videos, and complete assignments, and bring in a trusted adult to talk about how their actions affect others. Those on the Grace District Board hope this course of action will decrease the number of teenagers they have seen vaping in their school district.
Rochester is getting unique recognition this year. Typically known for the garbage plate, now people from out of town will know that the Flower City is ranked number 5 in the nation for hitting deer. The National Crime Bureau did a study on animal-related insurance costs through the years 2014 to 2017 and found that Rochester is ranked #1 in New York State for deer-related collisions. Other notable rankings around the Finger Lake and Genesee Valley regions are #8, Canandaigua, #12, Victor, and #13, Batavia. Peak season for deer is late October through early November. State troopers are saying to keep your eyes on the road, hands on the wheel, and to always observe your surroundings. When you see a deer eyes, make sure no one is directly behind you and slow down. If you do hit a deer, call 911. New York State Department of Transportation will be able to pick up the body if there is one.
Yeah, Alaina, especially this time of year in the next couple of weeks, we'll be seeing a lot more deer-related accidents.
Absolutely. I know I take the thruway pretty often, and there are deer everywhere. You just really have to be careful when you're traveling on these roads.
Definitely. Governor Cuomo's plan to revitalize the city of Rochester is coming more into fruition by the day. On Tuesday, 2 affordable housing developments were approved by city officials. These involve a $118 million renovation project for the Southeast Towers on Manhattan Drive. Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren stated a main goal of this project is to keep the community together while also mixing property and income to maintain an all-inclusive community.
It's been more than 2 decades since the college at Brockport installed blue light phones. But what are they used for and how effective are they? News 4's Lexie Cutmore has the answers.
Over 8,000 people visit the Brockport campus every day, and the college is responsible for ensuring that students, faculty, and staff are in a safe environment. Over 2 decades ago, blue light phones were installed in high-traffic areas on campus. With the push of a button, people could connect to university police instantly.
If you might be in an area late at night, and you're alone, and maybe there's someone around thinking about a bad behavior or engaging in a bad behavior. Maybe they see that light and they go, hey, maybe I should think twice about this or whatever. So as a form of a deterrent, that might be helpful.
According to Ryan, the blue light phones aren't being used for their intended purpose, but making sure they're running efficiently is valuable to people who call the Brockport campus home.
I think they do have a value, certainly from an aesthetic standpoint. When you're coming to visit schools, when your parents come to visit schools, I have a son who's in college. So yeah, seeing them out there is an assurance, I think, to parents and students.
Students are working with university police to add to certain underserved areas.
When you get closer to the towers and Lot A is a parking lot for residential students, that's a pretty dark area, so.
Making sure the college has the necessary number of blue light phones to keep everyone safe.
No, I definitely think that there are spaces where more blue light phones could be added because they are a little far apart. I don't know specifically what is the range for having, like, in feet or whatever it is, to have them, the distance between them, but I think that there are definitely spots where there could be more added.
Although a lot of people will use cell phones in the event of an emergency, blue light phones like this one provide a sense of security to people who visit the campus.
I think it's really great that we're actually looking about how safe our campus as a whole. As a woman, I've not always felt the safest on campus, but we do have great resources, such as our university police and all of Res Life staff that are around, but I do think we could definitely be doing more to ensure that our campus is safe as a whole.
Kupiak says she's hopeful that one day no student will have to walk across the Brockport campus without feeling safe. In Brockport, News 4's Lexie Cutmore.
The staff at the Seneca Park Zoo is mourning the loss of another animal. Chena, a 37-year-old African elephant, was battling an ongoing infection for the past 2 years. Zoo officials say she also had an autoimmune skin disease and a degenerative joint disease. Chena was euthanized on Monday night. Director of the parks, Larry Staub, says the elephants are very intelligent animals and will need time to grieve. The remaining 3 elephants are currently being monitored for signs of age-related conditions. Park officials closed the park on October 22nd to give the staff time to deal with the recent losses.
After 70 years in the same spot, the Frederick Douglass statue in Highland Park is getting a new home. While moving the statue, crews found a time capsule they believe to be 75 years old. Larry Staub, director for Monroe County Parks, says the capsule is rusted, slightly beaten up, with the papers inside wet. The papers are in the process of being dried, and the county and city historians will look at them. Some even speculate the papers could be from Douglass's newspaper, the North Star, or transcripts of his speeches. We'll keep you updated on how the contents of the capsule are and as the story develops.
If Verizon is your primary cell phone provider, good news. Verizon is offering its customers a free year of Disney's much-anticipated streaming service, Disney+. Debuting on November 12th, owners of Disney+ will be able to view movies and shows from studios such as Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. The Verizon offer stated that an $84 value will extend to new and existing unlimited 4G and 5G customers. The Verizon and Disney partnership is yet another attempt to take down Netflix, whose time as the most popular streaming service may soon be coming to an end.
The girls volleyball teams from Byron Burgeon are getting their hands dirty to help feed people in the Rochester area. Each Saturday in September, members of the team join several other community groups to scrub, sort, and pack 2,000 pounds of potatoes. Local farmers are helping the efforts, collecting extra post-harvest crops like potatoes, butternut squash, and onions. The potatoes are delivered to local families, soup kitchens, and food pantries. The annual community service project began 3 years ago to help give back to the community.
The Brockport Golden Eagles had their bye week last week and look to continue their win streak against Utica on Saturday, October 26th at home. Brockport, who has won 5 in a row, sits at 5-1 on the year, while Utica is 3-3 coming off a loss in double overtime against Mooresville State. Brockport has not given up any points in their last 2 games and looks to continue their stellar play. The Brockport women's soccer team played against Elmira at home on Tuesday, October 22nd. Brockport would go on to crush Elmira 11-1 in an offensive explosion. 7 different girls scored for Brockport, including a hat trick from Kylie Longing, as the girls extended their win streak to 5 games. They now stand at 11-5-1 on the year and take on Geneseo at home Saturday, October 26th for Senior Day. For your pro sports update, the Buffalo Bills beat the winless Miami Dolphins 31-21 on Sunday, October 20th at New Air Field. Josh Allen threw for 202 yards and 2 touchdowns and rushed for another 32 yards to lead the offense, while Micah Hyde had a rare onside kick return for a touchdown to improve to 5-1 on the year. The Bills will take on the Philadelphia Eagles in their next matchup on October 27th at 1 p.m. as they look to continue their best start in years. And that's your look at sports.
Hello, and welcome to This Week in Politics. I'm Lexie Cutmore.
And I'm Alaina Jonathan. Let's get it started.
Broken voting machines, long lines, and frantic calls to extend voting hours may be a thing of the past. New York State is joining 38 other states in the early voting process. A new state law requires every county in New York to open the polls before Election Day. Millions of dollars are put into more than 250 voting sites to upgrade voting technology. Legislators hope this change will encourage more people to go out and vote. Early voting will begin on Saturday, October 26th, and continue through Sunday, November 3rd.
The race for Monroe County Executive is nearing an end. Candidates Cheryl D'Onofrio and Adam Bello are spending the last few days before election making their final campaign remarks. Bello and D'Onofrio have been discussing topics like job growth, property taxes, and the future of child protection services. D'Onofrio has been county executive since 2015, and Bello is fighting for his chance to take her spot in office. Election Day will take place Tuesday, November 5th.
The number of registered Democrats in Monroe County is on the rise. Election Commissioner Colleen Anderson says there are more than 400,000 registered voters in Monroe County. Anderson says people are turning to the Democratic Party because they have more progressive views. According to the Monroe County Board of Elections, the upcoming presidential election may play a role in the rise of Democratic voters in town and around Rochester and neighboring communities. For a list of full Democratic candidates, you can go to monroedemocrats.com, and you can find a full list of Republican candidates at monroegop.com.
The Monroe County Republican Committee is calling for the New York State Board of Elections to investigate Democratic District Attorney candidate Shani Curry Mitchell's campaign, according to officials in the GOP committee. Mitchell violated several state election laws, including illegal coordination, unlawful coordination of a campaign manager, and illegal use of campaign materials. County Republicans say a public relations firm and the New York Justice and Public Safety PAC illegally coordinated advertisements for Mitchell's campaign. Executives met earlier this week to discuss the allegations. Mitchell denied paying or approving the advertisements.
Thanks for joining us. Make sure to keep up with our social media accounts and stay in the know on everything Talon related.
For more information, you can go to our website at talontelevision.org. That's all we have today. I'm Alaina Jonathan.
And I'm Lexie Cutmore. We'll see you soon.